Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome back to the channel. I just realized I gotta turn the. Hang on. Let me set the mood here. Watch this. Watch this. Huh? I like a real YouTube channel. Because all the YouTubers they got weird looking lights and shit in the background, and I just gotta turn my fireplace on. That'll really do it. Hang on. Gotta love modern day appliances. Folks, welcome back to the channel. I had to do something real quick. I wasn't even gonna do a video, but I've just been looking at the Shiba chart and Bitcoin charts. And I just wanted to kind of go over something. I know some of you were expecting some fireworks today. Certainly, there's a lot of sentiment out there that something really big is going to happen. Again, I'm not too caught up with all the fundamentals of everything. I'm just looking at the charts. I'm looking at the crypto market as a whole. I'm looking at the fact that we are in beginning stages of one hell of a bull run. Well, I should say we're probably a little bit past the beginning stages, but we still got a lot of room to run here. Let's just take a look over at the chart. All right, so here is the Shiba chart that we were working on the other day. So the last video I did, we were trading right around here at this point, and I talked about how very likely that we'll see a little bit more to the downside, and we will find support right here at this. This is about the 4030 range, and sure enough, I mean it broke past that a little bit, but that's okay. It snapped right back up, and then it's continued to kind of use this as support, and it's basically following this particular yellow line right here. I drew this one, I think initially thinking that we might, see a little bit more dramatic move to the upside, but reality is we needed to come back here and test this level. This is really, really healthy looking. So I know some of you are like, what's going on? Why isn't it going off to the moon? I get it. I wanted to do that too, but the reality is that consolidating like this is very, very bullish. Okay, because it's building up power. You got to look at consolidation is building up power. And that means that when it does take off, it's going to be that much more powerful. Okay, and I really think that we have found good support here. I'm not anticipating that we're going to dip back down below that again. If we do, then we have support right here at the 24 level. Take a look at this. So this is Shiba on the daily. If this doesn't just like give you a boner, I don't know what else would. This is very, very typical kind of, bull pennant or bull flag. Okay, so what we'd like to see, at some point, is that it basically would break. It basically would break this line right here. Okay. And, ideally, it would pop up above it. It might need to come back down to test it, and then off to the races. Okay. Uh, Another thing though that I wanted to quickly just show you guys I thought was interesting. Let me just kind of clean this up. So if we zoom out a little bit here, okay, so uh, this is the crazy run that we had back in towards the end of 2021. If you take a look, right? So we were, when it first came out, it popped up and then it just kind of consolidated for months and months and months. All right. And this is where I got in. And you look at this initial pop. I'm just trying to see if you guys see what I'm talking about here. Look at this initial pop. Okay, look what it did. Kind of that typical same thing, right? It basically formed this bull flag, and sure enough, once it popped, that's when it went on its epic run. Same type of thing. We had this initial aggressive move up, and it did not do a whole lot of pulling back. It consolidated for a few days and then blast off. You see how it's kind of similar to what we're seeing here. All right. So, I mean, just because this happened this way and we had this massive shot to the upside, that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to happen again. But patterns do repeat. Okay. And what happens in the past, it may not happen exactly the same way, but it can give you an indication, but it can give you an indication of what could happen. We come over to the Bitcoin chart real quick, and I mean, this thing is looking great. And keep in mind, when we had this massive, what everyone was calling the end of the cycle, which was a little ridiculous to jump the gun like that, but I get it. When something drops, 15% or however much that was, it can get a little scary. But guess what? You know who was buying right in here? BlackRock. BlackRock bought, and I forget the amount that they bought, but we're talking above 60,000. All right, above the 60,000 mark, BlackRock was buying. All right, so they weren't waiting for it to go lower into the 50s, and possibly, so there's some people saying we could see pullback into the 40s depending on what happens. Certainly, if the stock market does a major dump, maybe we do see that. I hope we see that. I want Bitcoin to dump again, because I'm still accumulating and I want to get as much as I can. But in terms of just having conviction, when you have, the institutions coming in and buying, in these prices, I mean, that should give you, some type of indication that we're getting ready, I think, for something absolutely massive. So again, I know there's a lot of technical analysis people that are talking about we need to see a bigger correction in the crypto market. Um, and look, last year, I thought we were going to see, I trade stocks and things like that, and just overall markets. I thought we were going to see this huge recession, right? We were going to see this big pullback in the market, and that didn't happen, and I got my ass kicked because I was jumping in on triple leveraged inverse positions like the SQQQ, which is basically going short the market, and I got smoked, right? Because the market just kind of went up. So I wouldn't be completely surprised if, we continue to consolidate for a few days, maybe a few weeks, whatever it is, and then we blast off out of here. We can all put on our Moon Boy gear, you know what I mean, and pop bottles and dance and just act ridiculous. So anyway, exciting stuff with Shiba. I'm trying to keep this short and sweet. Again, if you've got anything from this, hit the like button. Also, if you could subscribe, it helps me out a lot and I appreciate it. And I will check all of you on the next one.